All right, hey, welcome back. What'd you guys pick up out of the first two series or so? Did you pick up something good? Oh, okay, good. You can't pick everything up all at one time. It's kind of like going to a buffet. If you try to put everything on a plate, you're going to get fat, full, stuffy, and tired. Training's the same way. You take a couple of tips, and just to let you know, the word tips means to ensure prompt service. To ensure prompt service, well, let's talk about some tips on how you can become a better collector. Sound good so far? All right, let's do it. Number one, collector versus customer expectations. Do you know that 71% of the people will buy from you if they like and trust and respect you? Now you're saying, well, I don't sell anything. Yes, you do. What are you selling? You're selling on-time payments. So you got to get the people to like you, trust you, respect you, believe you, and when they do that, they pay on time. Number two, you have to have sales skills. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, but I've been doing this for a long time. Well, I know, but you know what never sleeps is rust. Rust never sleeps. So what does a professional have to do with their skills? Well, they have to polish them because rust doesn't sleep. Well, what do you mean? Well, what's the best tool you have? It's your verbal communication. It's your words, and it's being effective. See, that's the difference between a great collector and a lousy collector. Is the great collector knows how to structure their sentences, gains commitments, and then gets the customer to pay or come up with the payment or show up on time. Number three. This one is so important. It's a positive mental attitude. You know, you'll lose more payments because of a lousy attitude. Have you ever lost a day because you had a bad attitude? It happens. So how do you polish your attitude? Well, you want to read, listen, and hear something positive every single day. That's why it's called a positive mental attitude. Okay? Number four, you have to question your way through the phone. Question your way through the phone call. See, if you talk too much, then your customer cuts you off, makes up an excuse, and the next thing you know, they're gone. And you're like, oh, what happened? What happened? You can't do all the talking. You have to talk, listen, and then respond back. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Number five, you have to gain commitments over the phone. And I want you to think of it like this. Getting a customer to show up is the equivalent of a salesperson closing a sale on the lot. In other words, if you want somebody to make a payment, you want them to come in, if you get them to come in, that is like a close. Or another close is getting them to agree to make a payment online with a debit card or a credit card. That's a close. And you have to work on that. You can't ask lousy questions like, well, when can you pay? Or when are you coming in? All those will lead to disaster. Number six, you have to have a game plan when you show up to work. Don't let the day plan you. You have to plan your day. Well, how do you do that? Well, the first 5-10 minutes of your work day, you want to write out what's your game plan. It's almost like a map or like plugging in coordinates or a destination on a GPS. How many calls do I have to make? What calls do I have to make? What customers am I chasing? What pool am I going to hang with today? And also, how many hours I'm going to work and how many calls can I make during those hours, okay? So plan your day. Don't let your day plan you. If you just show up and say, I'm on the hope plan, good luck. You probably won't last long. Number seven, I think you're going to like this one. Don't chase false objections. Let me say that again. Don't chase false objections. And we've heard these objections when people say, oh, I can't come in. Oh, I got to pay my bill. I didn't get paid. I don't have enough money. The car's not running. How about this one? Oh, I don't want the car anymore. Well, quickly, you need to come back and say, well, I understand, but I mean, you did see the value in rebuilding your life and your credit, didn't you? Oh, yeah. So is it the car that you just don't like it because it has a problem? Or is it you just don't have the money to pay? Now, did you see how I did that? Is there a problem with the car, or is it you just don't have the money to pay for the car? So we have to flush out the objection, then we can handle it. Don't try to handle the objection without flushing it out. Another one is you have to have a proven timeline for your call. Proven timeline for your call. In other words, when you call up a customer, you got to have a friendly attitude, you got to have a great voice, you got to take your smile and project it through the phone line or through the airwaves, okay? Because people can tell when you're interested in them. When you're interested in them, they're interested in you. Now, how do we miss collections? Well, we miss collections because sometimes we chase these false objections. 2, we don't have our game face on. 3, we're not ready for the call. 4, we just rush the call. Slow down, get focused, and before you make each call today, I want you to pre-plan the call. Just don't pick it up and be like a phone ninja and make 80 phone calls, and then your manager says, well, how'd you do today? Well, I made 80 clicks. Great. How many customers did you get to today? About 5 or 6, but I left 74 voice messages. That's probably not going to be a good day for you. And lastly, remember this. Keep your customer in the car. Let's all say it together. Keep my customer in the car. How do you do that? By having the right skills, handling the objections, possibly bringing the customer in and having a long-term relationship with your customer.